Welcome back to another episode of Uncle B and Top G. And today we're going to discuss a whole bunch of stuff. I'm so excited for this episode, Bobby.
Me too. But before we start, I'm going to claim sabotage. LZ, off camera, bought these chairs in our brand new studio. And she threw a very nasty short joke. She said, when I sat on the chairs, my feet reached. So my feet don't reach. Luckily, you can't see. So I'm like a 6-year-old. When he or she first uses the toilet, my feet are doing this. But I'm going to share that. Elsie will edit it out. It was just between us. I know she won't.
You know, if this makes it onto the internet, somebody is going to superimpose somebody with a dangling feet standing over here.
So, yeah. But people always comment when me and Elsie do videos, like, how tall is this chick? I'm like, she's freakishly tall. I'm normal height. She's very, very tall.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into it, my friend. Amazing topics. I'm excited. And I know we're going to add value and leave everybody here better than we found them.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. China virus. Do you think that this thing is serious?
So I think this is a brewing topic that's sort of creeping out of the woodworks now. I'll tell you why.
China, is it the China virus or is it the HMPV virus?
I think it's the idea of a second lockdown or another wave of lockdown. 2 days ago, we're having a sales meeting, and I know my guys. We've been together for a long time. Most of them are extroverted, A-type. Let's go kill everybody. But I have one specific salesperson who is he used to be a high school teacher. He's very introverted. He's just a cool guy. Doesn't speak. He's always informed. The moment I mentioned lockdown, he even used a bad word. He's like, fuck, they're not locking me up. I'm like, geez, who's this oak? Are you okay, buddy? Can we feel you? So I think people are secretly very, very nervous that a lockdown is coming. And in my opinion, they are selling this fear factor from China with an ulterior motive, in my opinion. And it is to, in my opinion, because I do have a couple of tinfoil hats, it is to destabilize, the Trump administration after he takes office, in my opinion.
Because that's obviously conspiracy theory, right? That
tinfoil hat on.
Totally manufactured, and after Trump is elected, suddenly this virus causes chaos.
Chaos. We have to lock down everything, and there's going to be agendas thrown around up and down. And
do you think the world will allow another lockdown?
So, in my opinion, no. However, the power of social media, the power of driving a narrative, even though is less than back in 2021, it's still very, very dominant. So whether or not they'll lock us up for 6 weeks in our homes, I don't think that happens. But can they drive fear to bring economies to
a grinding halt?
100%. And I'll tell you why. If they lock strategically, if China says, okay, how do we divide and conquer? What is the number one export that the West needs, where without this resource, whatever the resource is, think because the Chinese are very strategic. For them, short or medium term is like 50 years or 100 years plus.
Oh, Great Wall of China.
Yes, 100%.
5 dynasties or something.
Yes, it's incredible. And I've got lots of respect for that. But if we were to divide and conquer, all right, this particular resource or product or piece of hardware is manufactured in this area. This area all of a sudden gets locked because outbreaks and, people in hospitals falling over and people are getting sick everywhere, reported deaths, 2,000 dead, 8,000 dead. They lock this place strategically up. What happens to the knock-on effect? they can bring an industry to its knees.
Well,
Like
look at the silicon chip shortage.
Exactly.
Back in 2020.
exactly.
Businesses took the wrong decisions, particularly the automotive industry, took the wrong decisions in ramping down production. And so silicon chip manufacturers, what did they do? Well, we still need to make money. So we now decide to make consumer electronics and the chips for consumer electronics. And it takes a long time to ramp up those production lines and to change the focus. So what happened? Automotive industry suffered from these massive silicon chip shortages. Very good for our used car industry because we boomed.
We had a minute, eh?
We did.
We had a proper minute there.
But the new car production was a problem.
Yeah.
So, strategically, if somebody could manufacture that strategic outcome, it's almost like another world war.
Absolutely. And think about it, right? At different levels, you have different objectives. So at salesperson level, for me, my objective was shake more hands, meet more people, have more opportunities to present, which will equal to more opportunities to close. At the level that they are now is, how do we control the governments that we need? So how do we control South Africa? Well, South Africa is currently struggling with power outages. Okay, money is not a problem. We can build you whatever you want. We know you can't pay.
Well, money is printable.
Yeah, it comes out of thin air.
Oh.
We can build you these power supply stations, and we know you're not going to pay, which means we are going to write in some points to say that if you don't pay by this time, this is what happens. We take over Limpopo, whatever it is that the ROI is going to be.
Does anybody want Limpopo?
I'm just saying. So at that level, divide and conquer is the strategy. How do we strategically position ourselves with what we do now that 5 years from now, 4 years from now, when Trump exits, we are at a huge advantage? Because currently they're going to be on the back foot, according to what he said. China, Russia, I'm gonna show you, boy. I'm gonna be, look at, and that's the arrogance versus confidence. The results will have to be shown now.
Yeah.
And not that I'm spitting hate towards him. I'm a fan. I like his style, and I think it's necessary for what the world, in my opinion, needs now. But a virus is just so convenient and so well timed.
Well, I looked up the definition of arrogance versus confidence. Confidence is rooted in the genuine sense of self-worth. Nobody can knock that.
Yeah.
Right? That's not dependent on external validation.
Okay.
On the other hand, arrogance manifests in an inflated sense of self-importance and superiority. Arrogant individuals exaggerate their abilities, Dunning-Kruger effect, achievements, knowledge, and assert dominance over others.
But how do you see the difference? Because they sound pretty much the same.
Yeah, they sound pretty much the same, but I think it's one. So two elements. One is internal, and the other one's external. So confidence is, you can't shake me because you're external from me. My confidence comes from inside. It doesn't come from external factors, from the house you live in, to the car you drive, to the money you do or don't have. Your confidence comes from inside you. So I think the manifestation of that through tough times.
Mm-hmm.
Arrogant people can't face tough times as easily as confident people. So I think the results show in tough times. The second is the results, and you said it just now.
Yeah.
The difference between confidence and arrogance lay in the results.
Yeah.
Confident people get results. Arrogant people don't.
Yeah, they say they're going to get results, but
Yes.
they don't. Because when tough times comes, most of the time, as soon as you're going through tough times, if you're not confident, you're going to seek validation from outside. And if you can't get it, obviously that confidence level is down to zero and you give up or give in.
So I think Trump has an air of confidence.
Yes.
Confidence doesn't mean you're quiet.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you said earlier on as well, off camera, an arrogant person is someone who doesn't speak as much, whereas a confident person speaks the truth, speaks his truth or her truth,
Yeah.
and speaks at the right moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's unapologetic. That's what I believe
Yeah.
in. You don't need to agree with me. It's
Yeah.
okay. We'll
Yeah.
see at the end who's right and who's wrong.
And it's okay if you disagree.
Yeah, it's cool. No problem.
It's no problem. So I think Trump is confident. But if this has to happen again, okay,
Tinfoil hat on.
tinfoil hat on, if this has to happen again, is this the only thing that could destabilize whatever Trump's agenda is?
I think it throws him off. If you think about this, people at that level have already planned 15 moves ahead. First move is we do this.
So my 5 moves are nothing.
Yeah. I'm like always at least one move ahead. So your 5 are like 5 years in the future. 15 moves, 20 moves ahead is first we do this, we get this reaction. If this, then this, then this, then this, then this. So if they are, I mean, I love sitting in both camps. So communism, capitalism. Why is capitalism good? What about this? Why is communism good? Okay, what about this? And then you end up making you don't inherit character. You end up making your own decisions and you decide what's right or wrong.
Yeah,
That's how I was brought up.
Yeah.
So same with religion, same with you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
So if you are China and this guy, this big badass says, I will stop the production in Mexico. No Chinese car. What? Like a huge part of the economy comes from Chinese cars. I mean, they're flooding our market.
Yeah.
8 more, I think, this year.
Yeah.
8 more. Is that the correct number? Like 7, 8 more new
it's-
Chinese cars coming. We'll stop this. And this guy's saying, whoa, okay, we are under attack. How do we fight back? Not with rockets and ships and drones. We fight back with a virus. Let's lock up this one, this one, this one. Let's make people sick there, push propaganda, lock up the country, destabilize. You lose popularity. If you are, like, how do you hurt him? He's built up this image that he's going to do all these amazing things. Let's kick him in the balls. How do we do that? Here's a virus.
Would you take the vaccine again?
That's an excellent question, and immediately the answer is no. 11 new cars. Thank you, Els. Look at that. We've got a screen there. 11 new cars coming. China, 11. Like, can our market take 11 more? How many will survive?
Well, do they care as long as most of them survive?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point. So would I take the vaccine? I did take the first vaccine.
I took the first 2.
So I regret taking it. The only reason why I took it is because I really wanted to go to America.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, just shoot me the vaccine. Yeah, boom. Let me go to America, come back. You sometimes peer pressure. I took it because of peer pressure.
Well, you don't know what to decide in that moment.
Propaganda, lots of like things are
Propaganda,
coming at you at the same time. What did you experience after the vaccine?
So I've never had health issues, really, like big health issues. But it was beginning of 2023. I started experiencing. I mean, I go see a cardiologist every 2 years. It's it's when you start getting above 35, 40, you should.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, agree.
So I started experiencing these heart flutters. Or
can you feel them? Like you can feel
you
tensing
can't
up.
feel it with your hand, but you can feel it inside your body.
Yes.
So
Shit.
Apple Watch has the cardiogram. Took a cardiogram, and there's a definite skip in my heartbeat. Like
Never happened before.
Never happened before, and I don't know what's going on. And it's scary because you can feel it. The moment your heart skips a beat, you can feel it. And this happens every couple of beats. So I go see a cardiologist. Well, I was due to see the cardiologist just for a routine checkup. And I sat in front of him and I said to him, listen, yeah, tell me about the patients that you are seeing at the moment. Older people, younger people.
So you don't tell him about
No, I went there and I told him.
Okay.
And so I went, you go through a series of tests, like stress tests, ECG.
Okay.
I
went to one
sonar.
A couple of weeks ago. I had to for a policy that I took up.
Yes.
Exactly. It make you walk up and down steps to get your heart rate up.
And then they measure everything. And the final test is the sonar, where almost like they do on a pregnant woman.
Yes.
And he looks at the heart valves and whatever the case may be. And he said to me, there's nothing wrong with your heart. So I said, so why am I experiencing this, what I thought was skipping in beats, and I could see on the data that every couple of beats, my heart would skip a beat. So he says, okay, let's send you for an angio CT scan.
Okay, so then they take a closer look.
They put iodine in your veins.
Okay.
And you go through a CT scan and they image your heart.
Okay.
And this is mainly to see whether there's blockages in your arteries. Now, I go for this thing. I get the report back in the afternoon, and it was a Friday afternoon. Or should I finish, and this gets sent straight to the doctor, and now he's closed till Monday. Okay, could go through the whole weekend.
I've got an HIV test story that I'm going to tell you now. Yeah, sorry.
So anyway,
I know the feeling, my friend.
I go through the whole weekend.
HIV negative, by the way.
The whole weekend, I'm having these heart palpitation things. And eventually I'm like, okay, Monday morning comes, okay, I'm still here. Like, phone the doctor. What's happening with that test?
My friend, that's like a January month for you, that weekend.
He emails me the test, gets on the phone. He says to me, he said, Mr. Mini, he said, you've got category 0 plaque on your heart's arteries.
Okay.
So what does category 0 mean? 0, nothing. He says 0. There's nothing
clean,
there.
Healthy.
He says that blood is flowing through your arteries properly. I said, so what are these bloody palpitations? Anyway, but I had this conversation in the actual consulting room, and it turned out that he said to me he's seeing younger and younger people for heart issues. So I said to him, why? I said to him, is it our recent pandemic or is it the vaccine? And he said to me, both.
Both.
He said there are long-term effects to this vaccine and this virus.
So sorry, I just want to understand. He's seeing people who have had the vaccine with those symptoms.
Not with necessarily with these symptoms, with heart issues.
With heart issues.
Yes.
And people who haven't had the vaccine but had potentially or tested positive for COVID.
Yes.
Had not had the vaccine but are seeing heart issues as well currently.
Younger and younger people seeing heart issues. So, I mean, I'm no doctor, so this isn't any medical advice, but
personal experience.
But that was my personal experience. So now, like, okay, you're telling me there's bloody nothing wrong with me, but I can feel there's something wrong. So eventually, I decided to go down the ice bath journey up to my gym, ate cleaner, and I think it was the combination between hot and cold that eventually sorted it out.
And you feel fine now. You haven't felt the
Zero.
symptoms. So
Zero,
do you do cold first and then hot, or do you do hot first and then cold?
Cold, then hot.
Cold.
I don't like the heat therapy.
I prefer the heat.
It makes me feel incredibly dizzy. Because what I do is I fill the bath with hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get from the cold into the hot, and the hot doesn't feel as hot. But I've noticed the maximum temperature I can handle is about 45 degrees. Anything above 45 degrees, and I want to get out of there.
So quick
6 degrees, 6 to 7 degrees, to 45 degrees.
Quick tip: maybe you should try it. You work out at Planet Fitness, at Virgin Active. They've got the one I train at. They've got a very nice sauna. I go there with a big water bottle.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm alone, I help that thing that drips on the hot coals with my water
You help
bottle.
it a bit.
I help it. And I can get that temperature at 100 degrees.
100.
100
Yeah,
degrees.
okay, but that's not, you're not immersed in 100 degrees.
No, you're not immersed.
Because then you're boiling. Yeah.
At 100 degrees, 15 minutes, my friend, I really struggle to last 15 minutes, but I do. 15 minutes later, into a nice, normal, not cold water shower, not normal lukewarm water shower, I feel amazing. But
No.
you have to help it with a little bit of your water bottle to get it to 100
100
degrees.
degrees.
Because it hangs around 80.
So I firmly believe that the ice plunge and the heat therapy sorted it out. He did say to me it's an electrical issue.
An electrical issue.
So he can find nothing physiologically wrong with the arteries. He said it's an electrical
No
issue.
blockages.
Your brain is not telling your heart to beat at the pace that it should beat.
And
Something to that effect.
and more young people are experiencing
Heart issues.
so it has to be the virus and or the vaccine or both.
Well, I mean, he said to me he can't conclusively say that it is, but the strange thing is that he's seeing younger and younger and younger people.
So China comes up with this virus and propaganda. You have to take this vaccine. You don't take it. Sorry, I'm not taking it. Is that your answer?
I don't know what the answer is. I prefer not to.
Yeah. I prefer we not be in the position to make that choice.
Yes. I
That's
prefer
first
not
price.
to be in the position in the first place. Exactly. Don't put us in that bloody position.
Yes, sir. Cool.
So talking about Trump, so all of the tech tycoons are trying to now cozy up to him, right?
Have to.
The latest one is Zuckerberg.
Have
You
to.
told me that Dana White is on his board.
Yes, I think 4 or 5 days ago it was announced. And when I saw that, so my wife sent me the Instagram post. She's like, look at this nerd. I'm like, hold on. Then I phone, I'm like, babe, this nerd has to be like water. And you can take that with a pinch of salt. During the Biden administration, he has to be different.
Yeah.
During the Trump administration, he has to be different. So which one is his real self? In my opinion, it's this one that we're seeing now because he's training jiu-jitsu. He actually competed in a couple of tournaments.
Yeah, but him and Musk were taunting a fight at one point.
Yes, that that will be like the best thing ever. But
Musk will knock him out. That guy's like 6'5".
yeah, Musk will be like,
What somebody is going to tell us how tall Musk is because I just said 6'5".
Alzi. Let's have a look at that. By the way, Alzi's got like this fancy PC. I don't know what it costs. It costs as much as a small car. So it should be quite quick now. But he has to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
And 1.88 m, so that's 6 foot.
6'2".
6'2".
So sorry, wasn't 6'5",
Yeah,
6'2".
6'2".
Still taller than you.
Yeah, pretty big guy. It's still taller than most people watching here. Yeah. So he has to evolve and he has to cozy up to Musk because everything, not Musk, I'm sorry, to Donald Trump.
Yes.
Everything going forward will depend on decisions that he's making.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
So I think,
His gateway that he's chosen.
everyone should, like, if you fall on your sword for anything, you're an idiot.
Okay.
Okay? Do not fall on your sword for anything. Accept your own principles.
Okay, got it. I was scared there for a bit. Okay, got it. I was like, oh, where are you going with this?
I'm talking about external factors. Do
Yeah.
not fall on your sword for other people.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's acting in the context of the environment that he finds himself in. Is there anything wrong with that? Do we change strategies as businesses as a result of the context of the environment we find ourselves in? Of course we do.
I think with him even more because he's navigating, like I'll be navigating a couple of regulators. He's navigating continents.
Yes.
Governments.
It's a worldwide platform.
Yeah.
A worldwide platform. And I can tell you another company that didn't navigate their context.
Please.
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
Yes.
BlackBerry. BBM. BlackBerry.
Yeah, BlackBerry.
Okay.
BlackBerry. The
Got
one with
it.
the keyboard.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you think back on the history of BlackBerry, BlackBerry was a hardware device manufacturer with RIM as the company that was their holding company and produced the software that they operated on. But BlackBerry had one thing that no one else had, and that was the safest messaging system in the world.
That's BBM.
BBM as well as email.
Email.
Okay.
Was BlackBerry the first to market with email on a device? Or was theirs the safest? Deemed
There was the
safest?
safest
Okay, got
because
it.
you
Got
had Yahoo Mail. Before that, you had there were a couple of mail
but they
providers.
were the safest, encrypted.
But in encryption and safety, from a send and receive perspective, BlackBerry was the safest. What's Elsie googling?
The email came out in 19?
That was
Yeah,
Gmail.
okay.
So anyway, so BBM is on the planet, and BBM didn't understand. So we're talking about Zuckerberg, the context of where he finds himself and his business, and now he's morphing, and people are like, "Oh no, you're not staying true to."
Yeah, he's a what do you call it
chameleon.
in politics? Flip-flopper.
Flip-flopper.
Yeah.
Okay. But all he's doing is he's protecting his interests, because BlackBerry didn't.
Yeah.
BlackBerry thought they were one thing when they were actually something else. They thought that they were a competitor to the iPhone, eventually to Samsung, to Microsoft.
So they're in this space.
They're in this space,
Yeah, hardware.
maker. They weren't. They were actually a messaging platform. That's what they were. And they didn't realize it until it was too late. So
In 2002, email comes to mobile device and it was BlackBerry.
So they were first.
pioneered it. So
Wow.
but besides pioneering it, they got the safety right. Okay, it was a business grade software. In steps this gentleman by the name of Brian Acton. You know who Brian Acton is?
So rings a bell. WhatsApp.
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 Yes. So Brian Acton and his partner. What was his partner's name? Brian Acton and Jan Koum. Okay, but Brian Acton was the guy behind this thing. Brian Acton lost his job or left his job in 2007 from Yahoo.
Okay.
Okay, works for Yahoo, likely on the bones of his ass. Applies for a job at none other than Facebook. Applies for a job at Facebook. Okay, and this, I'm just looking this up. This was in the 23rd of May 2009. Right,
Applies for a job.
He
Gets
applies for
declined.
a job. Here's the tweet. Got denied, and Twitter. Got denied by Twitter HQ. That's okay. Would have been a long commute anyway. That was his tweet, right? August 2009, a couple of months later, Facebook turned me down. It was a great opportunity to connect with some fantastic people. Looking forward to life's next adventure.
Okay, Twitter says, sorry, you're not qualified for us. Facebook says,
No.
We don't really like you that much.
So him and his founder get together and they create
WhatsApp.
Eventually, full circle, goes
Yes.
and sells WhatsApp to Facebook for 19 billion US dollars.
So-
19 billion with a B. And for the person that said it's dollars and not rands,
It's
yes,
dollars.
it's dollars.
The S with the two stripes in the middle. 19 billion.
19 billion.
So does WhatsApp exist if Zucks hires this person and encourages him? I don't think so.
Maybe not.
Because maybe they push him in a different direction and he creates a purple like button and not a white and blue like button like we have now.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Well, they had instant messenger, right?
Yes.
Facebook Messenger. But I suppose the point is the crossover with BlackBerry Messenger BlackBerry Messenger could have been what WhatsApp is today,
It's incredible.
and they're not. Where are they? Doesn't exist.
That's just having no foresight and not even foresight, not realizing what they have.
Exactly. Now, I stand to be corrected, but I think BlackBerry didn't want to create BlackBerry Messenger for any third-party devices. They didn't want to create an app.
Also, not open source it. Everybody
you have
can
to
use.
have a BlackBerry in order to use BlackBerry Messenger. There was their biggest mistake.
I agree, because now we're gonna. It's very easy outside of copying culture to copy something.
Yes,
it's very
exactly.
easy. Am I right to say you in the software
Yes,
space?
yes.
You can get like oaks with thick glasses that don't come out in the sun that much, that plug themselves in the belly button and lock them up, Elsie. Lock them up for like 3 months, just feed them pizza under the door, and they'll figure out they'll reverse engineer. Am I right to say so?
Yes, they'll reverse engineer whatever you create.
And then just make it better, which is why we have WhatsApp.
Well, I don't know how much input BlackBerry Messenger had into Brian Acton creating WhatsApp. But if you agree with me, BlackBerry Messenger should have been what WhatsApp is today.
Agree. I mean, they had the foundation done. It was working. There was millions of people that were connecting on it every day. It was popular. It was even hip. Because as a youngster, I was BBMing my friends.
Yes, exactly. So now going back to Zuckerberg, Dana White, Trump, okay, Zuckerberg is going to keep Facebook alive because he is moving within the context. He understands the world he's playing in. BlackBerry didn't understand the world they were playing in. They thought they were a device hardware competitor.
One other advantage of Zucks is he even though he has a board, he makes the decisions.
Well, he controls Facebook, right?
He controls
Yes.
the final decision.
Very, very clever the way they set that up.
Yes.
So
So
different classes of shares.
Yes.
That's how they did it.
yes, 100%. So in a normal company, the CEO is almost always being protective of his position
Yeah.
in front of the board.
Yes.
So we're going to do this, but if this happens, then this is what I'm. So you almost like more strategic. Boardroom politics. Where Zucks is, I just want,
It's like Elon Musk.
cool people that are very smart, that are very connected to be on the board so that I can influence or be influenced by the people that they know. And by no means is Dana White a puppet for Trump, but
No.
I think Dana White is the connection to Trump.
Of course, it's the connection to Trump. And I don't think Dana White can be pushed around.
Never.
Not a chance. I mean, he's the leader in MMA. He's got a couple of homies on his side.
Some homies. And I mean, he's just a rock star. So, sorry. But he had the incident with his wife, and it was embarrassing and everything. So we're driving with my wife we've got like a 2-hour drive, and it's time to fight now. So she says, but I don't like the way he acted there. I said, okay, I like him for this. So like a couple of weeks ago, a guy, this is how much I'm not a freaking pushover, I am. A guy calls him out, a journalist, very rude.
Yeah.
He says, Dana from the back. He's like, yeah, how can I help you? With his t-shirt there. He says, these fighters, they're not paid enough. We worked out that your revenue for this event, and then he calls out the number, but you only paid the fighters this much. So it's like, and? So the guy says, well, that's not fair. So how about you go and create a UFC business like this, and you promote it, you attract fighters, you stage these events, and you can pay them whatever the F you want. How about that? Next, I'm like,
That's proper.
so that's the guy. Imagine having that guy next to you processing issues, real life. This is the pressure we're getting from China. This is the European people putting pressure. South America is putting this pressure. Having that masculine energy to bounce off of.
Yeah, but I think the connection comes from because I don't think that's politics. I think it's genuine in the following way. Dana White is on Zuckerberg's board, right? Dana White has the ear of Trump. Okay?
Yes. Big time.
Yeah. So has Musk got the ear of Trump, right? So Zuckerberg and Musk, they don't get along too well anymore. Okay?
Yes,
It's
agree.
gotten a bit better,
Yeah, agree.
but they don't get along too well anymore.
Agree.
So now Zuckerberg finds himself in a precarious position.
Because Trump and Elon are
Tight.
Yeah.
Yes. So how does he solve this? If what's in his heart is the right thing, if he's doing what's good for the platform, good for its users, and not anything underhanded, right? That is going to show up in those board meetings, in the reports Dana White sees.
Yes.
It's going to show up. Dana White's going to say, oh, jeez, he's doing the right thing. Guess where that information's going to go?
Back to Trump.
Back to Trump. And so he will have an ally in the White House if he does the right things. If he does the wrong things, that'll also show up because Dana White's a spotlight. It'll just highlight anything Facebook does. Because you can imagine Facebook does something that Dana White doesn't like. What does he do? Resign.
Yeah.
What is that? Headlines.
Headlines, yeah. So imagine
So in a way, Dana White's keeping Zuckerberg honest.
Yes. Yes.
Dana White doesn't need him.
At all. Doesn't need the money, doesn't need he doesn't need the publicity. Like, I'm on the Meta board. Who gives a shit? He's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But
This is a force for good. That's what I think it
Yes.
culminates to.
yes, I like your angle. I've got a different, maybe slightly different view. Imagine it's not. Let's say Zucks is a bad guy.
Imagine the conspiracy theory either way.
Yeah. So imagine he's a bad guy. How strategic is he? Because when did he start, placing himself in situations, walking out with fighters? When did he start doing that? Like 2 years ago? So the foresight for him seeing that this person will be highly, highly influential in 2 years' time if the political climate changes. And I need to start positioning myself very close to him so that this ultimate move happens. Imagine if he's a bad guy. He's very strategic.
If he's an alien, then it's obvious.
He's extremely strategic. So that's where my mind goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, he could have underlying bad tendencies, but I think that will show up.
It will, yeah.
It'll show up.
And I think it doesn't, personally. I don't think he does because it seems genuine and it seems like he has started to morph into something which he's comfortable in.
But he did something wrong the other day. He instructed, no, it was Larry Page, who instructed their AI. Was it Zuckerberg? Maybe you can check for us, Elsie. I don't know if it was Zuckerberg or Larry Page from Google that instructed the AI to use copyright material in its training. It happened literally days ago in its training.
And how did they catch him out?
Well, I don't think it was a matter of catching him out. It's just, the platforms are watching, and how does the information show up? And then it's copyrighted, and then how did that happen? Well, I got the instruction from the top. Boom, and follow the breadcrumb. It's either Zuckerberg or Larry Page. Yeah, there we go. 4 days ago. Mark Zuckerberg, so it was Facebook. Meta's use of copyright material.
Unreal. One.
So why would he give an instruction to use copyright material? Because he's in the AI race and maybe behind? So if he's behind, is his tendency to be evil?
I think human nature the answer is yes.
So if you're at the bottom, will you be evil to get to the top? Because when you're at the top, it's easy to be good.
I agree.
When you're at the bottom, would you be evil?
Yeah. Because everything, all peace comes from extreme acts of violence. All peace comes from violence.
That's interesting.
Think about anything
Yeah.
all peace comes from violence. and then peace over a long period of time will lead to violence.
So now you've made me very afraid,
I'm sorry.
because I'm going to the United States to go and visit the National Automobile Dealers Association coming up in the next couple of weeks.
So you're leaving on Wednesday.
20-something.
Okay, so that's just after the virus is gonna hit
after
America.
Trump gets inaugurated.
Okay, so you're gonna be ring fenced there, my friend. That's where you're
So
gonna be.
if I'm stuck in the United States,
I'll send the
it's your
submarine.
fault.
I'll send the submarine. And you're going to New Orleans.
Yes, New Orleans. The NADA is happening in New Orleans this year, and it's gonna be epic.
I'm
if
heavy jelly.
you're in the automotive industry,
I'm heavy jelly.
you're heavy jelly.
Heavy jelly. Heavy
I
jealous.
did invite you.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with a virus here on my own. You know, that's a side conversation. But I'm dealing with a virus that I'm not going to take the vaccine on, even though it's handed to me on a silver platter. I'm not going to take it.
So you've been to the NADA now?
Yes,
Twice.
sir. Once with you,
Yes.
and we brought back. Funny enough, we brought back the coronavirus from the UK, where we got it, where we both got it.
So that was exactly the same time.
Yes.
Same thing, same circumstance. So I'm
Are you excited?
I'm excited to go to the NADA. Yes. I am.
Okay.
It's always an epic show. There's stuff that you learn there. If you're in the automotive industry and you have not been to that show, you should go. 14,000 car dealers descend on that show.
Amazing.
From America mainly, but
Yeah.
from all over the world.
Yeah.
And all the marketplace platforms like AutoTrader are represented there. We all interact, we all talk to each other, and share ideas.
Amazing.
You come back with such good insights.
Amazing. I can't wait to sit with you after you come back, and we'll screen and test you. We'll have a temperature monitor outside to make sure that your temperature's okay, and then we'll sit and talk about it.
I can't wait. Well, that was it for episode 10 of Uncle B and Top G, and we're looking so forward to episode 11. Maybe we'll bring it to you on Zoom, maybe we won't, but that was super fun. I enjoyed that.
Super excited. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.